when you started, I think 2014, you started the company, right?
We started the company, yeah, we formed it in 13, but we really started in 14.
Mhm.
And yeah, we started from scratch. I mean, I had a friend of mine reach out to me from a previous career that I had. I used to actually work on Wall Street and ran a large equity trading desk.
Oh, wow.
And one of my contacts in there reached out to me a few years later and said, "Hey, my uncle's a scientist who was at Bell Labs and designed some fuel additives for them and owns the patents on this and sells it to the U.S. military. And we'd really like to start selling to the general public. Can you help?" And I said, "No, I don't know anything about fuel additives." So it wasn't exactly at the top of my list of things to do, you know.
Mhm.
So I said, "But I do know friends who own trucking companies, and one of the guys out here, I'm out in Western Jersey, and one of my neighbors was a farmer that he farms multiple thousands of acres, and a serious commercial farmer out here. And I gave some to him, and they all checked it out, and I basically they came back and they said they loved it. So I went back. I said, here's the deal. We're not my son and I, Alec, who was working in Jersey City at the time
Mhm.
in a cubicle, who was dying to get out. We decided we would do it, but we would only do it if we owned the brand.
Mhm.
So we offered them a opportunity to be our supplier. They accepted, and that's how FuelOx was born. Almost, oh gosh, almost 13 years ago, 12 years ago. We started out in selling it off basically off our kitchen table,
Really?
in little tiny bottles, because our product is so powerful that one ounce will treat 80 gallons.
So the original formula was what did it do for like what was the goal for it?
So what it's designed to do is it was designed originally for AT&T, Bell Labs,
Mm.
and the U.S. military to sustain and stabilize large amounts of fuel. Because what people don't understand, most people don't understand, is that diesel fuel in particular will go bad after a relatively short period of time. In fact, within a few months, it'll start degrading. Okay. And if you let it sit for long periods of time, it will become unusable eventually.
Wow.
So it'll start to what they call agglomerate, which means it'll start turning to tar basically
Mhm.
over the course of a long period of time. But it doesn't take much for it to happen before you start to get these agglomerations at the bottom of the fuel. It also has the unusual fact that bacteria and mold will grow inside of diesel fuel.
Wow.
And it'll also that will also help to degrade the fuel if it exists there.
So that's why it was
So
good for farmers because farmers a lot of times the tractors aren't used all the time, that kind of thing. That's why it was a
yeah, it could be that kind of stuff will start to in any fuel additive. I mean, any fuel amount of fuel. You have a big trucking company, you never if you have a big fuel tank, you never pump out 100% of that fuel.
oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, because
You're
you can't
always
because what if the diesel runs out of gas, you have big problems. I mean,
yeah.
you can't restart it. It's over.
Well, you're talking about in the machines themselves, yes.
Right.
But most of these fleets that have these trucks and these tractors and things have storage tanks for fuel.
Oh, additional storage tanks.
Correct. So
Oh,
they'll have
on the property, like where they have
correct.
like oh, I see. So they can refuel themselves. That's oh,
Exactly.
gotcha, got it. Oh, so
And
that's where you add that additive too. So that keeps it
correct.
usable.
And you can do either way. You can put it directly into the machinery itself, or or if you're fortunate enough to have storage tanks, you want to treat the storage tanks. So it's
Wow.
easier.
So how
It's
long?
much
So
easier.
so if you treat it, how long does it last? Like how long? Much longer does it last?
We'll stabilize it for a minimum of 2 years,
Wow.
and if not longer, you know.
Well, that's a good
And
deal.
yeah, and uh, it's yeah. So it'll last for 2 years or longer. And if you keep treating it every couple of years, really you can keep it fresh almost indefinitely.
Wow.
So yeah, we actually have a product that's really designed primarily for data centers and hospitals and places that have a big backup generators.
That's what I
You
was
know,
gonna say. The fuel generators, that makes sense because they're never really used very rarely. I mean, they turn on once a month to kinda just run through their system, but not really use it often.
right. Exactly. Well, yeah, they run it for 15 minutes a month or something like that.
Right, right, right.
So, unless there's some reason that you have to use it, in which case, they need to be ready to go and to burn all that fuel, you know.
Interesting.
But we sell our product to everything from, like I said, data centers to trucking companies, busing companies. We sell to the New York waterways ferries. We have tugboats out there. We're in probably about a third of the harbor in New York.
Wow.
But we're also in school bus companies. We treat
Oh, that
thousands of
makes
school
sense. Yeah.
and garbage truck companies. Some of the biggest garbage truck companies around the metro area use our product.
So the bus
And then
companies, they put it, like, in the buses, like, after the school year is over for the summer, right? Because it's not
no,
used.
they run it year round.
Oh, really?
And the reason why is because we didn't even touch on the probably the most important part of the additive is that it has a combustion catalyst in there. That's what
Mm,
really separates this from everybody else.
okay.
They're organometallic compounds that, for instance, diesel fuel will combust at around 1200 degrees Fahrenheit.
Mhm.
We get it with our catalyst in there to combust at about 800.
Oh,
So
wow.
by doing that, by starting that combustion a nanosecond earlier at a lower temperature, you end up with a much more thorough burn. So you end up with more power and better fuel efficiency, usually in the 5 to 9% range.
Wow.
But the real big reason why guys love it is because it's a more thorough burn. We actually reduce the soot, the black smoke that you used to see, right? No, now you have
Mhm.
everything has diesel particulate filters on it. So you don't see that black smoke
Oh, for
on
the EPA
any
kind of made them do that, I guess, because of all the new
correct.
regulations?
Yep. So you don't see that black smoke on anything
But it's still
that
there if you don't have the additive, but you just don't see it.
exactly.
It's
It
caught
gets
in the screen. When
exactly. It's actually a ceramic filter. And what happens is as it fills up, and it will fill up over a relatively short period of time, it will then go through what they call a regeneration process, which essentially means that they'll spritz diesel fuel into it and they'll run the engine at a high RPM. And so what that does is that literally blows through the manifold fire
really?
into the diesel particulate filter, and you burn all that soot out because all soot is unburnt fuel.
Right.
So they'll just burn all that soot out. That process will take anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes on average. Okay. But here's the thing. Number one, it happens at usually the most inopportune times. So sometimes you have to actually park the truck or the bus and do it on its
On the
own.
side road
The
for 40 minutes.
correct. The newer ones do it automatically as the engine is running,
Mhm.
so you don't have that incapacity that you had in the past. The other thing though is that you also can only do it so many times before you have to replace that filter.
Oh,
So what we do is we reduce the amount of regens by well over 50%.
that's big.
So by doing that, we extend the life of the filter as well. The other thing too is that there's something called an EGR or an emissions gas return. And what it basically does, it takes part of your exhaust and redirects it back through the engine to burn again.
Ah,
And
interesting.
it mixes with fresh air, but by doing so, you reduce again, you burn part of the soot again. So the thing is it has to go through an EGR cooler, which is almost like a radiator, you
Mhm.
know, and it goes through it, cools the exhaust down because the exhaust is 1200, 1400 degrees
Right.
as it's coming out the exhaust, and it cools it down so it can go back into the engine. Those coolers tend to get all gummed up with soot.
Mhm.
So the more soot you can remove from that process, the longer they last.
Ah,
As
interesting.
well as Yeah, so the bottom line is that our product doesn't just stabilize fuel, it gives better fuel efficiency, and that's all documented and tested 1,000 times over. And it also, on top of that, reduces your maintenance costs massively. So there's really nothing else out there that competes with us.
Wow.
And the only thing I really have to compete against is old thinking,
Oh,
you
really?
know. And because most of these guys that are in this business, as much as they profess to know about everything that's mechanical, and most of them know far more than I do on the mechanical side.
Mhm.
But what they don't understand is the chemistry and the process that our fuel additive does,
I
you
see.
know? And so they tend to be extremely skeptical.
Right. So how did you market when you first started compared to how do you market it now?
We literally started, I mean, door to door, in, face to face. I had a lot of guys, tell me that they, didn't believe in that. They didn't need it. They did all these kind of crazy things,
Right.
And you just and for every 20 conversations, I'd have a guy that was open to it,
Give it a shot. Right.
And for every one of those, I'd get, every 20 of those, I'd get one guy to buy, you know.
Mhm.
And so we literally built our business brick by brick.
Wow.
Um, in fact, we went back and looked at our books a couple of years ago in the beginning, and I
Mhm.
just laughed because
It
I
looks
think
so good.
in 2013, or 2014, I guess, for that first full year, we literally did about $50,000 in
I bet.
revenue.
Wow.
In revenue,
Revenue.
you know? So, it was a losing proposition for that first year for sure.
Oh, I bet.
Um, Fortunately, our growth was pretty good after that. And we basically broke even our second year,
Right.
and then our third year on, we have been making money, is why we did it. But going back and looking at all the hours and all the work we put in just to get to that break even spot, and this is not, this is, you read about these things with tech startups and stuff and how much money they need and how much they
Mhm.
burn and how long it takes. It's a totally different story when it's just you and your son
Yeah,
that
I
are
bet.
literally
Yeah.
filling little tiny cups like this at night and then going out and spending, 12 hours driving and talking to people every day,
Wow.
literally every day, you know. So Alec, who's my son, is he's the phone guy,
Mhm.
and that's the decision we made in the beginning that I'd be the outside guy, he'd be the inside guy,
Right.
and he's absolutely a machine. He's fantastic with the customers, totally organized, and we use a CRM. We're very,
Which one do you use? What's
we
your
use we use we use Salesforce,
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
and it's really only because it's what we started with,
Right.
you know. I suspect at some point here we're going to go through a major redo of all our technology we use.
Mhm.
Um, just because we're using so many different things now, and it just doesn't make sense.
I see.
And there are
Yeah.
and in the world of AI, everything's being consolidated.
Right.
You know,
So what do you like? What kind of bottlenecks you guys run into now? Like, what kind of technologies? Like, you have all different portals, or like you have QuickBooks?
no, it's just that we're we don't have we use uh, a warehousing um, inventory system. We
Like a
use
POS system?
QuickBooks.
Like a
Yeah,
POS system?
no, not really
Yeah.
POS because we don't sell like that.
Okay.
Not 90% of what we do is B2B.
Okay.
So a lot of it has to do, and what we do here is we probably only have about 20 SKUs. I should say SKUs.
Oh,
We probably about 20 different products.
yeah. I saw on the website.
Okay,
So you expanded it since then. You have a lot of other products.
we probably about 20 products. So
Yeah.
we don't really have
But it's
that
not a
many.
million different products, right? Was it
Right?
so 20 SKUs? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So we have that, and we have it. We we repackage everything here. All of our stuff is blended somewhere else
Ah,
because I don't have the machinery to do that. We control all of our products. We control the formulas on all of them.
So the formula comes in, you don't bottle it, or you bottle it?
We do. We do. We bottle everything here.
So it
We
comes in like
patent.
big like 50-gallon drums, or
We buy everything exactly. We buy everything in either 55-gallon drums or totes. You know,
and then you have like
275s
a
or
machine belt
330s.
that kind of like the process that dumps
Yep.
it, pours each one of them.
Yeah, we have a couple bottling machines. We have, you know, we're we actually need more space. So
Where
I'm
is it
looking.
now? Where are you guys currently?
We're out in Asbury, New Jersey. Not
I know Asbury,
Asbury.
New Jersey. I have
Yeah, out west.
I had a client a long time ago. I had to double look at it, like Asbury, because Asbury Park is way far away from Asbury.
Correct.
Not even close.
Yeah. And people constantly get us confused.
I bet.
Although I can't understand why, you know.
This is
So
not
I
even
mean,
close. This
it's
night and
about as
day.
far away in every aspect that you can
Every
imagine.
aspect. Asbury Park, completely different.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm looking out at the guy just came and plowed the farm, the cornfield this morning,
Yeah.
you know?
You don't see that in Asbury
So,
Park.
yeah, no, no. So,
So
it's it's
so
great out here.
yeah, I like it. I like Asbury. Yeah. So you use a bunch of different tools currently. You have QuickBooks. You said you have the
Yeah, I mean,
CRM.
if we use QuickBooks for, you know, for all our financial stuff. You know, we have a inventory management system. We use a CRM. You know, then we use you know, we use ShipStation for shipping. You know, and then we have all our online stuff. You know, that we all integrate it all into it. It's like, and it works. Everything works fine now.
Mhm.
But I do at some point. I know they have things out there that will integrate all those things.
They do. Yeah.
They're just extremely expensive for us.
Mhm.
So, but I think at some point we're gonna have to go that way because our we continue to grow, you know, at a pretty good rate. So
Interesting. So what kind of do you have any bottlenecks now in operation where you would wish you could fix something where it's not like that?
no,
Where it's pretty
we
smooth.
only all we kind of pressed the outer edges of the envelope this winter for the first time. Our capacity was pushed pretty hard.
Oh,
Um, Winter time tends to be a bigger volume time for us
makes sense. Yeah,
because
yeah.
we treat a lot of heating oil. We have a
Ah, okay.
we have a heating oil product called Star Plus that we developed about 6 or 7 years ago,
Mhm.
and it was really designed specifically for the bio blended diesel fuel that's used for the heating oil.
Gotcha.
And that's a relatively new product for the world. And most of the northeastern states have adopted, you know, anywhere from 5 to 20%
Yeah,
mandatory
didn't they
mix.
change currently the how the all the diesel fuel is it's not no longer the they changed the formula, right, recently for diesel fuel? Used to be
Well, they used to be just it used to be a regular sulfur diesel fuel, which had sulfur in it. Then about 2000 and I guess around 2000 or so, 2005, they mandated that the sulfur be removed.
right.
Then in 2008, they mandated that the diesel particulate filters be put on trucks.
Then the biofuel
Um,
changed too, right? The
and
bio
then
the
the biofuel, then they started putting biofuel in it sometime around 2010, I think.
yeah.
But in the meantime, it's really picked up steam to where now it's like New Jersey is a 5% minimum. I think believe Pennsylvania is a 5% minimum. New York is a 10% minimum, I think.
Oh, really?
Connecticut is 5 going to 10.
Now does that help
Rhode
you?
Island is 20. What's that?
That helps you the more in there, or does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter to me other than the fact that it makes an additive that can help um, with those problems that are created by putting biofuel in there. Okay, you really have to have an additive. Okay,
Oh,
and the reason,
so with the additive, with that biofuel requires more of your additive or a additive to
yeah,
counteract. Because I was talking to a guy last week who actually he sells the cooking oil to the diesel like Exxon and
right,
Chevron, That they make that diesel fuel with that,
That's interesting. That's actually called renewable fuel,
right?
renewable diesel, which is different than bio. Okay.
Gotcha.
Back in the day, around the turn of the century there, 25 years ago, I mean, there were guys that were making livings running around to all the restaurants and picking up their
That's
used
what he does.
frying.
He does
Yeah,
that now.
yeah. But that was a bigger thing then because that was the only biofuel there
Right.
was. Okay.
Oh, I see.
And but now it's really become much more, the whole concept has become much more refined, no pun intended, because what it does is, for instance, the United States, a big part of the biofuel that's created here is all soy based. Okay. So there's
Gotcha.
actually companies that are out there like Chevron, REG, that are huge in turning soy into soy diesel fuel. Okay.
So they
A
use the
soy
soy just to make the fuel.
Correct.
It's actually made from that, the soy?
It's actually 100% 100% vegetable based and
Really?
soy. And then what they'll do is they'll take that and they'll blend that in with regular diesel fuel.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So when I say 5% in New Jersey, the heating oil that you're getting is 5% soy oil and 95% diesel fuel.
Gotcha. Now that
Okay.
requires your product more.
That really require, particularly if it's an outdoor tank. Because what happens is the soy part of it tends to gel up at a very high temperature. So generally speaking, 100% soy diesel fuel will gel up at like 25 or 30 degrees,
Oh, geez.
where it just won't move. It'll get like jello, you
So you
know?
can't use it no matter what.
Right. So regular diesel fuel, on the other hand, will also gel up, but usually around 5 degrees.
Okay.
Okay, on average. But when you put 5% soy in there,
Mhm.
it all of a sudden it's gonna raise that like 5 degrees, you know, where it's gonna, instead of gelling at 5 degrees, it's gonna gel around 10 degrees.
Which is not that cold, by the way. We had the
Yeah,
temperature recently. I mean, that
correct.
over the winter, it got down really cold.
Right, right. So we make anti-gel, additives for diesel fuel, but we also make a beefed up version primarily for, these, bio blends. So,
Interesting.
but that's really more of our heating oil products.
Right.
So that's what, and the Northeast also, by the way, for people that don't know this, the Northeast is actually, the only place in America that still uses diesel fuel for heating oil.
Really?
Okay, that still uses heating oil. Most of the country is propane or natural gas.
Oh, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Now don't get me wrong, there are spots
Right,
everywhere
but
along,
but primarily we use most of it. That we're,
right, for you go west of Pennsylvania, you start to see less and less of it,
oh, interesting.
and then there's a pocket up in Washington, Oregon, that they do as well. But 90%, I would say, of heating oil is used in the Northeast.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is kinda great because that's where we are, you
Or it's
know?
not good. Right.
Yeah, so what we did 6 or 7 years ago is recognized the change in the fuel, and the change in the fuel was demanding the change in the fuel additives. So
Gotcha.
all our
So you
competition.
tweaked your did you tweak your product based on that, or is it the original
Yes,
one worked?
we actually created it based on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So we looked at an industry that had nothing but additives that were designed for fuel in 1980. And we said, when they literally, I mean, I'm literally, if you go into any kind of plumbing store or a place that'll sell a heating oil additive,
Right.
and they're gonna try to sell you something that was designed in the 60s or 70s.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Interesting.
because those are the big brand names, you know.
Oh, and they get the
That's
market share, so people just buy it because they know who they are.
exactly. And that's really why we've concentrated on B2B as opposed to B2C,
Oh,
because
I
the
see.
B2C markets, all the markets are dominated by brands that have been around forever,
So
right?
the crack that one is gonna take a lot more money to be able
Correct.
it
100%.
so,
100%.
but the business so how do you market now? How do you do the business to business? Do you just
Our marketing is all either online,
right,
um, or we go to we'll do about
trade
15 or
shows?
20 trade shows a year. Right. Right, and we have and we're building a network of representatives,
Who
that
that have like a territory,
distributors,
who like
right?
who knock on doors in their territory to
And
sell the product.
they sell other stuff. They sell other stuff, and we're part of their repertoire.
Oh, because
You know,
it wouldn't be enough commission in it. Because like, what does a bottle cost? Like like if you bought
well, it depends. The guys that if I'm selling product to a trucking company, it
Mhm.
costs them about, believe it or not, it costs them about 3 cents a gallon to treat their fuel.
Okay, okay,
Okay, so but if they're going through 100,000 gallons a month, that's $3,000 a month of
right,
my product.
right.
Which is not unusual. So particularly for some of the bigger trucking companies, or the trucking companies, or the uh, cement guys,
Uh-huh.
concrete, aggregate, you know, guys with mines. These guys all use a ton. Garbage guys, they use a ton of fuel. You
So
know,
so basically you have a minimum for the business to business, like you have like they buy a certain
no,
amount? No?
no, no, we don't have a minimum, but we don't. We have price cutoffs. That encourage people to buy more higher amounts. The more you buy, the better your price
Of
discounts are.
course. So how does it come though? Does it come like gallon containers or comes in like big containers?
We have a 3/4 gallon jug, believe it or not, is our number one. I don't know if we have one. I should have had one here to show you. But it's a 3/4 gallon jug that'll treat 7,500 gallons. And the reason why it treats 7,500 gallons is because if you're in New Jersey, as you are, and you see a tanker running down the road
Mhm.
it's generally speaking going to hold about 7,500 gallons.
Makes sense.
So yeah,
So you made the meet the market. That's like you say a gallon, so
right.
that's the size.
So a half a gallon will treat 5,000 gallons,
Right.
and then we sell these smaller ones. These are 8 ounces,
Okay.
and that'll treat 640 gallons.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And
So the guy,
what does that cost? Like what so if I wanted to buy that, what would
like
that
$40,
like
40
$40?
like $40. Yeah,
Okay.
and that right there will treat 40 gallons. This little thing there.
I see.
So, but that's if you go on our website, you'll see that I probably have I might have a couple hundred stores out there that are just, carrying our product, that we don't work too hard to maintain that network.
Like like small mom and pop places, like that, like
Exactly.
not like Pep Boys, but like one of those like if I own
Correct.
like a store,
Or
it's automotive store.
a lot of marinas will carry our product too.
That make that I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in Jersey you don't use the boat all. I mean, you gotta clean the boat out. You don't use it all winter,
Yeah,
and then
but this works also. Our stuff works not just we're talking diesel fuel, but it works in gasoline too.
yeah, I noticed on the website. So you also have like a lubricant one for oil additive.
We have an oil additive, which is fantastic.
How does
Which,
that work? If you're using full synthetic, you use it with this full
well, first of
synthetic?
all, you got to remember, full synthetic is still a petroleum product.
Right. I know. Yeah.
All it means is that it's gone through a process, and it's basically the same oil. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's just it's
It does
synthetic.
break down eventually.
It does break down eventually. In fact, the old school guys will tell you, you know what, you're better off just getting regular oil and changing it every 3,000 miles.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they'll say. Then the guys who are selling you the product will tell you a different story.
10,000
Oh,
miles.
yeah, exactly. So
So what would the benefit be? So yeah, so we do like a regular car would use that, or is it for like a hot like
you
for
could
like a
you no,
some
I sell it. I actually sell it in 12-ounce bottles, which is perfect for a regular car.
Mhm.
To add to your oil when you get an oil change. So it's yeah,
So if it
it's
takes like 5 quarts, you put the 5 quarts in plus the additive, or
yeah,
separate.
that's yeah, it's 12 ounces on top of it.
So it's
So
not like
that's
in
what it is.
place of it. Like you wouldn't put like 5 quarts minus 12 ounces. It's
You could
okay
do
to
that. You could do that. You
you
could do
could.
either one. You could really do either one. I
So
re
it wouldn't hurt it if you overfilled it a little bit
If
with
you
the
over
additive.
you really shouldn't overfill it. You should put in
Okay.
the exact amount, okay?
So if it holds
So
5 gallons, I should use your 12 ounces, subtract the 5 quarts.
5 quarts, yeah, you put in 4.5 quarts or something like that.
4.5 quarts, then additive would be the
Right,
ideal way of doing it.
exactly. That
And
would
then
be the
what
ideal.
benefit do I get from the
It's gonna
additive?
it's gonna it's gonna actually treat the metal inside the engine, so it makes the metal stronger, so it doesn't wear as much. So it's really you'll see a lot less wear metals in your oil. A good thing to do is if you don't do it already is, your oil plug, they have magnetic oil plugs,
Mhm.
you know. So you can put a magnetic oil plug in there, and when you change your oil, you can see right there how the wear metals on your that'll be stuck to your plug,
Oh,
you
interesting.
know.
So,
Yeah.
I didn't look at all of it. Do you have a what? Do you have an additive for like transmission fluid, or is that in the works?
No, I don't do transmission fluid.
Okay,
So we have that. We have a grease, a which has our same additive package in the grease. So any where you're using that grease, the metal's going to last longer, less wear. It's we've done what's called fret testing, and fretting is when the metal wears. Is the term when the metal wears, and it outperforms to everything out there. Not even
really?
close.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we've gone against $100 a tube
What would you use it for? What would you use
moly
for that?
greases.
Like, what's that for? Like, what would you grease with that?
That's for everything you would normally grease now, usually heavy equipment, you know, wherever you normally are greasing with any kind of heavy duty,
So anything, like if I had, like a manufacturing facility, my
yep,
machines could be greased with that.
exactly. Yep.
God,
Excavators, bulldozers,
forklifts.
jackhammers, forklifts, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha.
So,
And so interesting. So yeah. So I guess so the oil additive would make sense for any everyday car. It wouldn't have to be like a real like a truck or
of
anything like
course.
that.
Yep,
With that.
it'll maintain the inside of your engine far better than just regular old oil.
How about that?
Yeah.
And you guys also have like you also have like regular gas is additive or just only diesel
This
additive?
this no, this product works in both gas and diesel.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It does it's technically designed for any middle distillate fuel, which is
Oh,
gasoline, diesel, something they used to refer to as heavy fuel oil, which they don't use anymore, or bunker fuel, they don't use it anymore. That was used primarily for shipping and for power plants, things like
mhm.
that. But it's a very heavy, sludgy kind of oil that they really couldn't use for anything else. So they would just burn it, but has a lot of BTUs in it, so it's really
Right,
good for that.
right. And then
So
so how does it? I know how it helps the diesel people. How does it help the gas people with the additive? What does it do for them? The same.
it gives you a little bit better fuel efficiency. It protects your catalytic converter. It works well.
So what's the goal for the next 12 months to 3 years? What's the company goal?
The company goal is to continue growing domestically as we are now,
Mhm.
to expand into retail at some point here in the next 2 years.
Mm.
And to do that, we have to add on a lot. That's a big undertaking for us.
Yeah,
Um, and but probably our next biggest step is to expand internationally
right.
because we already have a number of customers that are international, and that seems to be growing faster than anything else at this point
Really?
because most of the customers we're dealing with are large companies, particularly as we seem to have found a niche in the mining area.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so
And
we're
mines,
talking.
that's big. That's big. Globally is the mines, right? Because they have a lot
Yeah,
less. Yeah.
yeah, it's not unusual for a mine to go through, half a million to 1 million gallons of fuel a month.
Wow,
They use a lot of fuel.
that's a lot.
Yeah. And we have customers in South America, we have customers in Africa, and those networks are all starting to grow, you
I
know.
see. So,
We're in the process of doing a big trial right now in Mongolia. Um, and we have trials starting in Vietnam and South Africa in the next 2 weeks.
oh wow,
But yeah, it's one of those things that people recognize that what we're bringing to the table, no one else has,
I see.
and for the cost involved, is this a product that's going to save you 50% in your fuel? No, it's not.
Right,
Okay,
right.
but I'm going to save you. We're going to save you. Most guys mining will see somewhere around 7 to 10% better fuel efficiency.
But if
You
you're
know,
using that much fuel, that's a lot of money.
it's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, and my cost is about 1%. Okay, so it's a no-brainer. You know,
So you're the mine guy. It costs you 1%, and you
I'm
save
yeah,
7.
yep. Yep, and even our trucking companies here in the United States, I'll trucks for us are the most, fuel efficient vehicle out there, believe
Mhm.
it or not, because when they get on the interstate highways, they're going
Oh,
60 to
yeah.
70 they go 60 to 70 miles an hour straight, you
Mhm.
know? And
So they
when you're
overdrive and then kinda just cruise at the one speed, and that's
yeah,
not
and
yeah.
driving your car, where's your most efficient
Uh,
running gonna be? It's on the
right,
highway, right?
right,
They
right.
It's the same thing with that, as opposed to garbage trucks, who are stop
Stop
and
and
go
go.
all the way.
Yeah, yeah,
Those
yeah.
guys that's stop garbage trucks, school buses. These are the
All
low hanging
inefficient
fruit.
jobs for a
Yeah,
car, for a truck.
and
All
these are
inefficient.
that's the low hanging fruit for us, you know.
And how
So
many people do you have working in the company now? How big is
we have
the
we
operation?
have we have just over a dozen, I think.
Okay,
I think I have about a dozen people. Um, it's not a high. It's really, a lot of our stuff is done electronically.
right.
Those that day and age when you needed to have a lot of people to shuffle papers and answer
Right.
phones and stuff, just
It's not a thing.
doesn't happen now. Yeah.
If you could automate anything in the office for you, what would you automate? Like, what would be a thing that you would pick that would be
Um,
that's just busy work that you hate to do? Or
you know something? It's interesting. We're going through all of that now,
right.
and it's not so much the automation of anything you do.
Mhm.
Our biggest challenge is an exposure issue.
Okay,
Our biggest challenge is getting the word out. Okay.
I see.
The concept of build it and they will come
Right.
uh, is bullshit.
Okay.
Okay. There's no other way to put it.
Right.
I mean, it's just not true.
Unless it's like a car, unless something like revolutionary. Like if
Well,
you invented the car, the probably people come to buy a car from
but
you.
they'll never buy it if they don't know it. If they don't
Also
know it,
true, and they
you
probably
have to
back
get the
then
word to them.
they rather have the horse.
Right. I mean, a car goes viral or something like that. It's done. Your work is done.
Right,
Okay.
it's over.
But try to get a fuel additive to go viral. Okay.
Yeah, because there's so much misconceptions, right, on the fuel additives, like they don't
Exactly.
work, or they're full of shit, or the guy doesn't know what he's talking about, or because they used one in the past, didn't do anything when they were a kid. So that you have to get through all that, right? Because you gotta kind of like
Correct.
educate them all.
Exactly. There's a huge education curve with my product,
Right.
and
Because you have
that's that.
you have bad publicity from the past, people that didn't work at all. So you got to overcome that and teach them how your stuff works, right? That's the hurdle, I
Uh-huh.
guess.
Yep. Yep. That's it. But that's our biggest challenge is exposure and
Mhm.
getting the word out. Okay.
Makes sense. Right.
And that's where we work on a lot.
Mhm.
And frankly, we got some pretty cool stuff in the hopper.
Right.
Almost all of it AI driven, you
Right.
know? So, I mean, if you're not taking advantage of this technology, uh, I think you're gonna be left in dust. I don't
For
care what
sure.
industry you're in, you
Yeah,
know?
I think at least you should be aware of it and use the stuff that you could use for you, definitely,
Yeah,
instead of ignoring it. Because if you don't know you don't need it, you probably do need it
yeah,
if you don't look into it. I think
yeah,
it makes sense.
yeah. And fortunately, I'm the oldest person in the company, you know?
Right.
So, I'm not entirely, inept,
Right.
technologically speaking, but fortunately have a number of younger people, who are much more tuned in than I am.
More tech
You
savvy.
know,
That's what we have in our office. We have a couple like coders and tech savvy guys that are way above me.
yeah, yeah. So I'm giving them all the rope that they can take,
Mhm.
and we're coming up with some pretty cool things right now. So I have, and the interesting thing too is that you know the people we're going after. I'm not going after the guys who are, you know, gonna buy a bottle to put in their Subaru, you know?
Right, right,
I mean,
right.
the guys I'm going after, own fleets of trucks and buses and heavy machinery, and they generally speaking spend a lot of money and work, and need a lot of product, you
Makes
know?
sense.
So my
One
average
one
sale
time,
is
like,
not
big purchases. So
yeah.
who would you want to expand to that you currently aren't getting to? Like, what people? What industry?
Prime well, we have I've named most of them. but
Yeah,
like
the
the
marinas,
low
the bus garbage companies.
yeah, I mean, the marinas actually tend to be a different segment than the other stuff because they're they have a unique clientele,
Mhm.
you know? Um, and also there's a couple of fuel additives that have focused on that segment for a couple decades now that have that advantage over us from a brand recognition standpoint,
But they're not
you
the
know?
same. Not what
No,
you're
we're far our stuff is far superior to everything that's out there
so
on a shelf.
your formula's patented? Like your formula that you created or where you own that?
Yeah, it was originally patented.
Mhm,
Um, the patent itself is expired.
mhm.
And quite honestly, you know, we've tweaked it a little bit since then, so it's different than what it was.
I see.
And I stand by the belief that a patent for most people is nothing but a blueprint of how to figure out what you have,
Oh, that makes sense. I
you know?
bet should be yours because you wouldn't have to change much to it to void the
No,
patent or recreate it, right? Because you only have to
exactly.
change a few molecules here and there, and now Rand's product is now my product, but just type
And
in. Hmm.
exactly. And really what it really comes down to is brand. That's really what it comes down to. I'm
Yeah,
fighting I'm
you
fighting
you're
against
fighting like bad products that aren't nearly as good as yours, only
but they
because
have it
everybody knows that brand.
but they have established brands.
Like that's what I mean.
So
They're buying the name. They don't really.
right.
They're it's kind of like Pavlov's theory, right? They're buying the brand thinking it's working, but it's not
Yeah.
working as good as yours. But
And
they
they don't
feel like it's
and
working.
exactly, you know. And until you actually have an issue that you can compare the 2, you know, then you're not gonna see it, you know, unless you actually have that issue, because 'cause you're probably not gonna have that issue with us, you know?
That
Or
makes
you
sense.
have a situation a lot of we have a lot of commercial fishermen that use our product
Makes sense.
because they're used to running out to the canyons and coming back and having 10 gallons left in their tank. And then when they used our stuff, they came back, they had 40 gallons left in their tank,
That's
you
the
know?
difference, and it's super expensive on the water.
Oh,
Those. Forget it. You try to fill your
yeah.
boat up with the water, it's a friggin' fortune.
Well,
Think about
they always had a buck or 2 extra on there, you know? But that's it, you know, so but there's a couple companies that have done, you know, that targeted that industry 20, 30 years ago that still own you know, that brand
the market share
recognition.
for that.
Yeah.
That's all them.
Yeah.
So if you could make a goal for the next 12 months or 3 years, you try break into more of the marinas or more of the people, individuals.
Yeah, more like 3 years and 12 months, though. I just don't have
Three years and 12
we're gonna
months.
be yeah, we're more than likely. Yeah, we're gonna be have our hands full here right now with our international expansion.
Right.
And what we'll probably do is we'll parlay, you know, some of our revenue into expanding new revenue streams here at home. And marine would be one of them,
And maybe
you
open
know.
up a couple more, like, because you bottle it in Jersey, right? In
Correct.
Asbury. So you probably want to move to add a couple different bottlers, like, I guess, strategically across the country, I guess,
Yeah,
areas.
we're looking at we have some ideas about that, but yeah, you're right. You know, we're looking at a couple of different areas right now that are a little more um tax friendly, you know. So unfortunately, I mean, I love New Jersey, but you know
No,
what? It's just
we got problems. Yeah, it makes sense.
it's a little out of control here, you know.
Reliable control, yeah. And plus, would it be more strategic for you if you had it like different places in the country where you could ship
Yeah,
from?
yeah, probably. I'd have to. It makes sense. It makes sense.
So you ship it through private, like where do you ship it through? Like who delivers it? Ship
Some.
it. So you bottle it. I'm the marina. I
Yep.
order it. You just drop ship it to me through UPS or FedEx. It comes to
Yep.
my marina, and then I unload it and put it where it's gonna go.
Correct. Yep.
So even big orders, so I guess, right? If I order like
Oh, I
100
got.
gallons of it.
Well, if we have, you know, if we'll set our average, I would say that our average sales is usually a couple of cases of product, and each one of our case treats about, depending on what size bottle you get. treats somewhere usually around 50,000 gallons
And what is the average?
each case.
What's that price? What's the
Be
cost of
about
that?
1,500 to $2,000 a case.
So your average sale is 5, 6 grand for how many cases?
No, it depends. Yeah, it could from a B2B standpoint, it is. From a online average sale is a couple $100,
Oh, that makes
you
sense.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like I guess you're out like Amazon too. I guess and sell through there or no?
Yes, we sell through Amazon. You go to Amazon, you'll find us,
Yeah,
and our average sale there is a couple $100,
that makes
you know?
sense. So, but the
Yeah.
B two B is a couple thousand or
Yes.
two
Yep.
grand, two,
Yep. Something like that.
and then I guess that's the average B two B,
It
two
could be. It
two
could be.
grand.
Sometimes they order 10 times as or you know 50 times as much.
Right, and then
It
you have
all
to
depends.
then forget the mines will be totally different out of the
Yeah.
ballpark there.
Yeah. I know we have sent container loads,
Like
overseas.
China trailer, the whole
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
container work.
Yeah. And that's a different animal there.
That's a big
You
one,
know.
yeah. So 3
So
years and 12 months, you wanna expand in the US and internationally is the goal.
now we're expanding now, so we're not waiting. But in the next
We did it for years. With it, we are that
Yeah, we're looking. I mean, you asked about marine, and that's really what
yeah,
I was. I don't know when that's going to happen. It's going to happen someday
yeah.
because the bottom line is you can't have a product that's so superior to everybody else out there, and not at some point go after it all.
You
You
have
know?
to, right, because if you probably feel bad, like, I
Y-
mean, I would feel bad that they're not actually getting a better product to people, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we believe that we have the superior, and we don't gouge anybody. There's a couple of companies out there that make a similar product,
Mhm.
and they literally charge 3 times as much as we do.
Wow.
Literally. And then what's interesting is that we have a product. It's a really cool product to shoot. Um, it's a product that it's literally 3 ounces.
Right,
I just shipped it out today. I had it on my desk.
right,
Anyway, so it's this big. So it's a 3 ounce bottle,
right.
and and it and it competes with a bottle this size. Now this is oil,
Okay.
okay, but there's when you go to the truck stops, you'll
Mhm.
see that there's a bottle out there
That
that's
size.
32 ounces that
Right.
treats 100 gallons,
Okay,
and they charge about $20 for it
okay.
to treat 100 gallons. This is my bottle, treats 120 gallons.
That's a huge that's incredible.
It's and it blows this away because it has
And what does yours
every
cost?
about $10.
That is, unbelievable.
Yeah, it's about
And
half price.
that's not even close to
No. So, and not to mention guys can take 5 of these and stick it in a box, on their truck. And these, you carry a couple of them at the most,
yeah, yeah.
but then again, that's a product we have to go after,
That
you
that
know?
yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You gotta that would be night and day difference.
Yeah.
And and the
But
only
we're
reason why is they know that bigger bottle brand. They buy it
like 100%. That's 100% the reason.
because they've been doing it for years, so I'll tell you a bottle of that.
Yep. Yeah. And it's
Very
interesting. You go to all these different segments, whether it's trucking or marine or whatever the case may be, or go down to, Pep Boys or, and AutoZone, and you'll see different additives, different names on the shelves in each one. But each one is focused on that particular industry. And
right.
meanwhile,
Rising. Yeah, the
we
Marina
compete against
one,
all
whatever. Yeah, yeah, I get it.
right.
Right,
And my feeling is like, if you're that great, why aren't you competing in all of them? And of course, the answer is because it's marketing,
right, because
right?
right, because they have the niche, so they stick to that one niche for the marina, one niche for the truck
Right,
drivers, one niche
right.
for whoever whatever else, and then
And our
they
and
they
our
focus on it.
vision and our vision is that in the next 5 or 10 years, we're going to go after all.
Makes sense. So
Yeah,
currently, ballpark it. What's the marketing budget now compared to what you want it to be? Is that
it's probably about our marketing budget. Is probably about a half a million a year,
right?
and I'd love to if I had 10 times that I probably couldn't spend. I couldn't spend it fast enough.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because you have so much to break into. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so you wanna do the most you can with the money you spend, 500,000, so you get the most mileage out of it, obviously, right? Mm,
We spread it all over the place.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you do, like, shows, you do all kinds of do you do, like, billboards and stuff, or no? That's not like
Yeah, we actually have
did you?
billboards out there.
Yeah.
Yep. I got about I got about 10 of them out there right now.
Well, then for the truck drivers, 'cause they see
Yep.
it. Makes
Yep.
sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So,
And
have you
it's
got so how do you, like, judge how each one's doing? Do you, like, the feedback from, like, how do you know?
we have a landing page
Mhm.
that it directs people to. So, for instance, every one of our billboards, all it says, besides having our logo on our name on there, it says "Regens suck." So, the regenerations I was telling you about,
Right.
right? It's the bane of trucking. It is the worst. It is the biggest maintenance issue there is, and they're called regens for sure.
That's the one that with the filter and the
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. The filter gets filled up with soot, then it has to burn through it. That's a regen, and it's a major pain in the butt. So what we've done is we've trademarked regen suck,
Oh, that's
and
good. That's cool.
we have a regen suck on the you know I don't know if you're familiar with like the Steven Singer,
Oh, yeah, Steven
right?
Singer, that's all by in Jersey everywhere. Steven
Yeah,
Singer
well, it's
sucks,
a Philadelphia,
the
right?
jeweler guy, right?
Yeah, 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 and yeah, like I hate Steven Singer, right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, and I saw that it's everywhere. I hate
yeah,
Steven Singer. Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
Well, ours is in the same kind of mode. It says regensuck.com. So it has FuelOx underneath it.
So,
So whenever we get somebody landing on regensuck.com, we know that it's come off of the
then you could judge which billboards are actually doing their
you
job,
can't really tell which billboard it's coming from,
like the
but we
billboards.
but I only got 10 of them out there, you
Okay.
know.
All in
I got
Jersey
a
or all,
no,
like,
I got a couple in
out west?
Pennsylvania out west on the turnpike. I got a couple in Idaho. I got a couple in Texas. I got a
That
couple
makes sense.
in Nevada,
Yeah, yeah. Those are
and
the places you want them because
I
then
got a
tons of
couple in
truck drivers.
Kansas. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, well, our whole thing is that we go after areas that have low consumer eyeballs. I don't care about the consumer eyeballs. All I care about is the over the road guys,
Because you pay for
you know.
that. Because if you buy up by Jersey,
Yeah,
if you buy a billboard like in North Jersey, it's way more expensive than you do in South Jersey because the eyeballs, like you said, are like 10
right,
times the amount, right?
right,
And you
right.
pay for that.
Or like those ones right above the Lincoln Tunnel Helix, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I think they're like I don't I think there's something like $100,000 a month or something like that.
It's gotta be. I looked into it before, and it's like night and day. If you go like the Lansing Expressway, dirt cheap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very, very expensive. But then you go to like anywhere in Bergen County, forget it. They want millions of dollars. It's like Proof 46 or
Yeah,
any
see,
one of those.
I don't need to pay for consumer eyeballs, you
It
know?
won't help you. It
Yeah.
wouldn't that
No.
wouldn't really do it. No. You want the truck driver to see it and then eventually see it at the truck stop,
Right. Exactly.
and then kind of put them together.
Or in our case, they can buy it online, you know?
Or line, right, right, right.
So, yeah.
But eventually you'd want to be in the truck stops. That would be
Yes, yes,
that'd be a good place.
yes, that's probably at the top of our list from a B to C, you know,
Yeah.
a retail thing, you know?
Because that would get the word out too, because the truck drivers talk, and then that would kind of help. That would spread it out
Right,
a lot further, right?
right. Yeah, it's all, it's all one step at a time, but
Yeah, yeah.
we started this journey, 12, 13 years ago, and,
It's really awesome.
you know,
Great story. That was
it's
cool.
I think we're really honestly, I really think we're at that hockey stick moment,
Mhm.
you know, where the next year or so, I think we're gonna see a massive increase in business.
I hope so.
So,
That's great.
yeah, so do we.
So, is there anything else you want to talk about that I left out? I think we went over everything. Anything
I
else you
mean,
want to touch on?
no, I think
Any
we covered everything, we're just, we're working hard, we're a family business, I got Alec works with us, he's my partner. He
Yep.
helped start the company. My oldest son, my second son, Grant, joined us about 3 or 4 years ago, and he's handling all the international stuff as well as a lot of the domestic sales as well.
Mhm.
Um,
That's awesome.
My
That's
da-
that's
my
a good story.
my daughter Charlotte stepped in to run the production area for me for the last 6 months because I had to replace the guy who was doing it, and
Mhm.
she just stepped right in and did it. And
Wow, that's great.
yeah, yeah, she's doing great, and and it's we're happy with where we are. We're happy with the progress we're making, but we have a long way to go,
Oh yeah,
and we know it.
yeah.
So
All right. Awesome. I appreciate you coming on so short notice. That was great. I really appreciate it.
yeah, yeah, and anybody wants to find out any more about us, it's fuelox.com,
Mhm.
FUELOX
Okay,
dot
I'll put
com.
it in the description of the video too. So what I'll
Okay,
do is I'll edit this. I'll send it over to you. Take a look at it, and then you
okay,
feel okay. I'll post it, and then I'll show you the AI analysis of what we talked about and see if we can help that way.
that's great. No, I appreciate things. Like I said, our biggest thing right now is exposure.
Yep.
So you're helping. I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate it. No, I'm glad I could help. Glad you came
All
on.
right, man.
All right, Rand.
Sounds great.
Thank you. Have a
All
good
right,
day.
have a great night. See ya.
Thanks you too.
Bye.